Hey everybody, welcome back to the Miniac, and in today's video, which by the way is sponsored by outmotoring.com, we're going to be tackling the GP2 for the Dream Garage. That is going to be one that's going to be a little bit challenging to find. There aren't that many out there, but there are a few. And the thing is, this is a car I happen to really like. I've driven it. I've driven the GP1 as well, but I really like it. I think it's an interesting vehicle. Now, a little bit of background on the GP2. It was unveiled at the 2012 Paris Motor Show and was the fastest production Mini ever built under the John Cooper Works badge, ready to rip off 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds, and it hit an electronically limited 150 miles per hour. Only 2,000 examples were ever built. 500 of these ended up in the United States, making this beast one of the rarest hot hatches on the planet. Beneath that scooped hood, it was a retuned 1.6-liter turbocharged engine pushing around 218 horsepower or 214 horsepower in US spec. Boosted by slight compression tweaks over the standard Jcw, torque numbers around 195 pound-feet with a short burst overboost that nudged it close to 207 pound-feet. It all tied to that wonderful 6-speed manual transmission. No automatic. This car didn't even have cruise control. Mini didn't just drop an engine in a shell, they gave it a full track DNA. It had adjustable suspension, 6-piston Brembos borrowed from the BMW 135i, dedicated 17-inch lightweight wheels, in Kumo semi-slick tires. On the Nordschleife at the Nürburgring, it clocked an impressive 8 minutes 23 seconds, about 19 seconds faster than the 2006 GP. The aesthetics, though, were fairly toned down compared to the previous one. It did not have a bespoke body kit. It did have a bespoke rear spoiler. It had the standard air dams and side skirts and rear diffuser that you would find on the regular Jcw, but it did have a special carbon fiber rear wing, and it had those wonderful Jcw Recaro bucket seats, which I had in my own car at one point, my Jcw Clubman, and I loved those seats. It also had a special GP mode in the traction control, allowing for more controlled slippage while preserving the electronic differential's grip advantage. It did not have a mechanical limited slip differential, but it did have an electronically controlled one. The exterior paint was thunder gray metallic with matching race-style decals, red mirror caps, and GP badging. It looked the part, right down to the race-tuned wheels and aggressive stance. All 2,000 models were built to the same exact spec, no dealer upgrades, no options, just raw, unfiltered GP essence. And that's the way you wanted it. So, as part of today's search, we're going to go back to AutoTrader because I have not found these cars anywhere else. So I've already pulled up a few that we're going to take a look at here. And here's our first one. Now this is a 2013. They're all 2013 in the US market. I know they were 2012 in the UK, but they are all 2013 in the US market. This one has 67,000 miles and it's 18,005. Now that's incredible because if you saw with the GP1, mileage like that was in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. So the values on the second gens weren't as high. Now this one looks pretty nice. I like the exterior overall. I like just the way it looks. It looks like it might be lowered slightly. It looks like they added something to the side skirts though. That's the one thing I don't like about this car. I don't know why they needed to add that, but they did. Tiger striping on the wheel arches, that's a common thing for these cars. It also has, and I'm not a fan of it, it has LED marker lights on the wheel arches. Nice looking though. This is GP number 0141, so it is a low numbered car. But I'm not sure why, and if you're gonna photograph it, why leave your drink in the car? It's not bad. It's not mine. I'm gonna skip that one. Okay, here's a private seller GP. They put 11 photos, not very good. And if you're going to do this, why take such terrible photos? Do you want your car to sell? $21,000. I mean, the seats are nice. Engine looks okay. Okay, it doesn't look bad. Again, take better pictures. It doesn't take much to do that. Just take better pictures. Okay, now this is from a dealership in New York. 62,000 miles, $22,000. I don't trust this dealership. And it's because they screwed over a friend of mine who tried to buy a car from them. He had it shipped to his house in Missouri, and it was a complete basket case. So I don't trust this dealership. This is not a bad looking car, but I'd be leery if you're gonna buy a car from this dealership in New York, and that's just my opinion on it. If you've bought a car from them, that's your opinion, but I don't trust them, which is why I would not buy a car from them, even though they do have a good number of cars. This one, on the other hand, caught my attention, and it's 54 grand. 8,896 miles. Wow. And then they went all out with the information on the car too. It's car number 337 out of 2,000. What has been done to this? I mean, it's obviously had stuff done to it. Those are not the factory wheels. Holy smokes. It's been lowered. Oh my goodness. What is going on with that car? Okay, this probably had everything done to it. Those are new speed wheels. So those are good wheels. But holy smoke. I know why the car hasn't been sold. Look, they even added a little carbon fiber to the side skirts. That's insane. 0337. Aftermarket exhaust most likely. Gauges added to the steering wheel. I love that shift knob with the red in the middle. I just love that. This car is incredible. See, this goes right here, the one of 2000. So the problem was people started taking these cars and like hiding them or trying to sell them for a higher profit because they had a lower number on the car. So what Mini started to do, which is very clever, is they started just saying one of a certain batch so that people wouldn't do that. Like my car is one of 740. I don't know which one. I know it's one of them. And this went all the way into the GP3 because the GP3s have all their number badging on the spats on the sides of the car. That doesn't necessarily mean that's the first one, the second one, the third one, or even the 10th one. It means that's the number they assigned to the car. So the first one could be GP number 2,999, but you're not going to know that. So if you're out there buying a higher priced GP3, as an example, because they claim it's the lowest number car, it may be one of the lowest number cars. It's not necessarily the first car that was built. So there you have it. And this is kind of what they started doing here with the second gens, which is why this one is one of 2000, but it's also $54,000. And I think part of that has to do with the number. This is GP number 337. Now, 37 is a very common historical number in the Mini brand. That's the number that Patty Hopkirk had on his car. That's the number that was on Christian Pericarpi's TC class JCW as well. 37 is a very significant number in the racing world for Mini, at least. This car is, wow, $54,000. $54,000, 8,800 miles. Or $21,000 at 56,000 miles. Well, everyone has to have one car they're going to keep in the garage and not drive. For me, that's going to be this one. I might drive it very rarely, but I just think it looks really cool. This is my dream garage. It's a fictional garage. I don't have $55K to buy a new car, even if I wanted to. So $55,000 to own a very low mileage, uniquely numbered JCW, which is tastefully modded. It has the suspension upgrades, has wheels. It just looks really nice and tidy. I think I'll go with that one. That looks really good. Now, if you're gonna have to deal with maintenance, and you will, you're gonna go over to Outmotoring, you're gonna go to their website, and you're gonna look for things that might need to be fixed on these cars. I can almost guarantee there's probably still a footwell module recall on that vehicle. Don't worry, the dealership will cover it. But more than likely it's there. The mileage is low enough, you're probably not gonna have to worry about the turbo right now. But here's the thing. If the car was babied its entire life and it is a 10-year-old car with 8,800 miles on it, it might have been babied, which means you might have to service the turbo. You might have to service the high pressure fuel pump, the water pump, anything that could possibly go wrong on this car, you're probably gonna have to do. And Outmotoring has all those parts. Everything you're gonna need for that car, the high pressure fuel pump, and if you need a high pressure fuel pump for that N18, it's $1,159, which it's on sale. It's about $200 off almost, so that's a good deal. I mean, everything is here that you're gonna need for that car. Things that are going to wear, that tend to wear on these cars, and they have it all. But I highly doubt this one is gonna have those issues. It looks really, really clean. I mean, seriously clean, holy smoke. I mean, it's just really well taken care of. This is just a beautiful car. These pictures look professional. Nicely upgraded engine bay, nicely cleaned up, very tidy. I see coilovers, so it does have coilovers. I don't know which ones. I'm hoping KW. It has Vorschlag camber plate, and that's gonna tie into an upcoming video that you're gonna wanna stay tuned for. So it has Vorschlag camber plates. That's a hint. So comment below and guess what I just got. So I have that car. We're gonna add that one to the garage, but I need to have one that I'm just going to have fun with. So we're gonna turn that one into a track toy. And I happen to know the perfect one. And it's not any of the ones I just showed you. This one is on Facebook. And I've driven this car before. This is $16,500. It's an Olathe. It has 106,000 miles. It's been tastefully modified, and I know the guy who did it. It's GP number 0169, if that says anything, so it's a lower number than the other one. And it's a little rough around the edges, but it's in good shape. Now, don't let the way the front alignment looks on this car fool you. This has a caster adjustment, which is why the tires look like they're more further forward on this car. But it's a little rough around the edges, so it's not perfect shape. But it's been serviced, it's been upgraded, it had some things done to it. I like the wheels they added to it. That looks pretty nice. Good looking car. That would be the one I would buy for my track toy, which is why I'm going to have two, not four. I'm gonna have two. I'm gonna have two GP2s in the garage. The $54,000 one, because why the heck not? And then the track toy. So there you have it. And I hope you enjoyed watching this little fun walk around trying to pick out my next dream car, because next time we do the Dream Garage videos, we may go ahead and start jumping into the F cars, because there are some good ones in that generation to look at for my Dream Garage, and I have a few in mind. But I also have some other stuff coming up that we're going to be talking about here you're going to want to stay tuned for, because it's just really cool. But thanks for watching, and as always, if you like what you see, check out more content on this channel at the end of this video.